Good evening, folks. I am sorry that I had a conflict which prevented me from being with you personally, but I'm glad to take advantage of this technology to be with you by this means and to speak to you about some observations I've made about space research and its value to us. I think space research ought to be international, and all the major countries of the world should participate, because this is something that is a benefit to all the people of the world and has usefulness in so many capacities. Much of the research that is being done in space, while it often is applied to space problems, nonetheless provides knowledge that is useful in conditions that are on Earth. About 8 or 9 years ago, I began working with some of the research people in NASA on a little pump that I wanted to develop, a little heart pump, as a miniature pump, but provide the capacity for the output of the heart. My purpose in doing this was to obtain a mechanical support for a failing heart. So we began working together on it, using some of the technology that they've developed in their space research. And over a period of 3 or 4 years, we had developed a pump that experimentally would produce anywhere from 6 to 10 liters per minute of blood pumping. We then began experimental work on humans, well, first on animals, then on humans, and it has proved to be extremely useful. We are using it clinically now. An example of this would be a patient who also had cardiomyopathy and has a rapidly failing heart and who needs a heart transplant. Now we've got to wait until we get a donor for him. And because of his failing heart, he may not survive long enough for us to get a donor. So we can put this little pump in, and it will support this failing heart quite adequately. Even for a year we've had experience where it has supported the patient even for a year, and then have him transplanted successfully when a donor was found. But that's just one example of how knowledge from space research can be useful to us in other fields. Another example is the observation that in the astronauts, after they have been up in space for a week or longer, develop weakness in their muscles and loss of calcium in their bones. Now we have this problem clinically on Earth, so it's a problem that has not yet been solved, but it's an example of how research in this area is important for problems that we still have to deal with on Earth. The idea of exploration of space is in itself a venturesome idea, and leads to problems that you face in terms of radiation and other problems that have to be solved before we can, let's say, move greatly in space. In doing this, doing research on these areas will undoubtedly unearth knowledge that will be useful in other fields. That's the great benefit of research. You never know what you're going to find until you do research. And it's research that gives us new ideas, new developments, new modalities, and things that we never would know about until we had done the research. And I think that's one of the basic reasons that research in space is so important to all of us. Thank you.